Hello, Luke here. I would just like to take a moment to disclose upfront that we sometimes talk about sensitive topics in our podcasts, and in fairness to our audience, we will try our best to put specific warnings in the descriptions of each episode. Now on with the show.
Apollo Creed, you can't defeat, yeah. Adrianne doesn't want to meet, yeah. Everybody thinks he's a bum now. Rock's got a train. He punches beef, he punches meat, he punches beef. Yeah, he punches meat. He punches meat. Chug raw eggs, then it's time to go. Tie your feet like Marciano. All of Philly wants to see you win, just take it on the chin. He punches beef, he punches meat, he punches beef. Yeah, he punches meat. He punches meat.
Oh, hell yeah. You brought fucking
That might be
Fast
my favorite one.
Times at Ridgemont High into it.
Exactly.
And welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. My name is Luke Londe. With me once again, almost as always, is Chuck Starzenski.
Hello, hello. Yes, it is I, star of Married to Medicine Season 10. Once again, tune in just to see me and Phaedra really chop it up. We've got... share some laughs, we share a little drama. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's been fun.
And joining us almost as always, as much again, is Javier Martinez.
Ding, 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 ding. There's the bell, and I step into the ring, and I'm ready to rumble, roll. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't know. I'm still reeling from... Chuck's going to plug that thing every chance he gets.
Oh, yeah.
As he should.
And we watched Rocky.
Yes. A small-time boxer gets the chance to take on the world heavyweight champion.
Or a disguised love story with boxing in the background.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A socially inept man intimidates and kind of berates a very mousy woman who is just trying to do her job and live her own life.
At the end of the show, we'll be doing our top 5 movies that made you consider self-improvement.
Yeah.
Or inspired you to be better.
Exactly.
For the Sonic Death Monkey Top 5.
Sonic Death Self-Improvement. And as always, we've got the honorary Sam Coughlin Spoiler Alert Award. If you haven't seen this movie that came out 48 years ago, which is crazy saying aloud, be warned that spoilers follow for this film and, it's 9 sequels.
Spin-offs. The Creed's still going pretty good. I kind of like the Creed movies.
I haven't seen any of them.
They're kind of good.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2. I did not see the newest one. I like them. For the first one, for sure.
Definitely didn't go cheesy and stupid like the Rocky sequels.
Mm-hmm.
4 and 5, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. 4 is pretty good. Can't knock 4. I'm going to shut up now.
All right, Draco, whatever.
Yeah, right. I mentioned that this is kind of like Javier mentioned this, and I agree with it entirely, that it's kind of a love story disguised as a boxing movie. When I'm looking at it for my nostalgic purposes, I can only describe it as courtship is usually awkward, but never as awkward as this. This makes no sense to me. This is like a fucking alien planet. The way everything works out, everything is approached. I don't fucking get it. I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but the people who are acting in it, maybe it's because I've been to Philly once and it's just as dirty as it looks in the movie. No offense, Philly,
batteries are coming for you, Luke.
Fucking trash. Yeah. What about you guys?
So yeah, this is just to say it outright. This is one of my top 10 movies. Like it's on my top 10.
Nice, dude.
I fucking love this movie, and I watch it like all the time, or often enough that I could categorize it as I watch it all the time.
All right.
Yeah, but I know that my dad was a huge Stallone fan, and so a lot of the movies I saw when I was young was a lot of 80s movies, a lot of that kind of stuff. And this was kind of one of those films that he would sort of use as a parent to be like, you can achieve anything if you just work hard enough and believe, and the American dream.
You can punch beef too, son.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, can I have $1? No, but you can have determination.
Yeah.
Watch Rocky.
Yeah. See, he did it. I'm like, God damn, you're right.
That's amazing, man. I it's a little bizarre, but I couldn't knock it. I couldn't be like, why? I totally get it.
Yeah, for me, this movie is such a part of the cultural zeitgeist that I grew up thinking I have seen this movie.
Yeah, it's so hilarious.
I learned last night that this is, my inaugural episode. This was my first viewing of Rocky.
Right on.
Yeah, like all of my nostalgia for Rocky, I'm like, oh yeah, Rocky, of course. It's like, no, my nostalgia is for like clips of the movie.
Yeah.
And for all of the references and parodies in like cartoons and Saturday Night Live and like all that kind of stuff I grew up watching. So I'm like, oh yeah, of course I've seen Rocky. Like, yo, Adrianne. Oh wait, that's Adrianne?
Yeah.
And then she has a brother? Fuck, I've never seen this movie. That's like, just like slowly washed over as like the plot kept like developing. I was like, oh wait, when's Apollo gonna, way later? Oh fuck, yeah never seen this.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't help?
The last 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah. What doesn't help is that every Rocky sequel has the last 20 minutes of the previous movie in it.
Yeah.
Oh, they pull a Jason.
So if you watch Rocky 2, it shows the last fight from Rocky 1.
Yeah.
And then like some of the other clips, there's like flashbacks and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then Rocky 3 does the same thing to Rocky 2. So like that's it's completely believable that you could have watched just Rocky 4 and maybe think you've seen the rest of them.
Yeah.
So
that's probably what happened.
It happens to a lot of people. I think it's a pretty common complaint, or just something people notice. Mm-hmm. But this is my least watched Rocky. I may have seen it for the first time probably 10 years ago, thinking probably also that I'd seen it.
Oh, okay.
But growing up, 2, 3, and 4 were on TV all the time. So that's my attachment to Rocky.
That makes sense. Those are the ones, right? Especially 3 and 4, the ones that you could just throw on at any time of the day, like on the TV, and you'll have more viewers or more people trying to watch as opposed to like, let me sit down through this like actually pretty good movie.
Yeah, exactly. And 2's got its rough spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a fucking classic. And I was blown away. I did not know it came out in 76.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
I did not realize that it came out 4 years before Raging Bull.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like in my mind turning it around, going like, oh, Stallone's just aping Scorsese. This is the first movie we've done that's older than me.
I know. I was going to say, I think this is our first 70s film.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
And Javier Martinez picked it.
Yeah.
Well, since you picked it, what are your favorite scenes, Javi?
I mean,
you can just sweep right now if you want to just take the scenes.
Yeah, I think I'll just, yeah. I mean, everybody's got to, say the montage is up there. Like, I don't believe it invented it. But definitely, I think the one that kind of propelled the idea of like, hey, let's throw in a fucking montage,
Yeah.
And made it like, that should be a thing, guys. Like, let's do that. Unfortunately, maybe.
I don't know. I think when I get to my part, I'll talk more about this, but I think they were just figuring everything out.
Yeah.
They were figuring out what works. I forgot during this montage, like Rocky's doing the one-arm push-ups and he finishes and the other guy goes, "You're going to do it, Rock." And he like gives the stupidest smile and thumbs up over to camera right. And I was like, oh, Jesus. Don't put that away. Could do more push-ups.
Yeah. I guess, aside from that, I'll mention one that's not the montage, and then maybe you can hear from you guys. Definitely, for me, it has to be Rocky's confession to Adrianne about like pre-fight, like how he feels. It's just like, I mean, this film overall it's just such a good, not a character study. That's not the word for it, but like it's just the character of Rocky to me has to be like one of the best characters like ever written, sure. or acted or whatever, both, right? Because actor and writer, Stallone. But yeah, just, I mean, all the little mannerisms, and there's just so much, we can talk about later, but so many like details sprinkled in that are just like, oh, that's clearly like a character choice. Like that's something that like tells you so much about the character in like as few words or like gestures as possible. I mean, Rocky can be pretty wordy at times, for sure. But there's other times too where he does like say a lot with like very little.
Dial it back, Rock.
Yeah. But yeah, just that scene, before the fight when, Rocky tells Adrianne, I don't think I'm going to win. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm being honest, and, he kind of explains like, but that's not what it's about.
He was settling.
Right.
And,
right.
And he kind of knew what he was going to be up against and do.
Yeah, that was, that's my favorite scene in the whole movie, honestly. And then I'm going to go for, low hanging fruit because nobody said it yet. The final bout between Apollo and Rocky. I mean, that is the movie. Aside from some more tender moments here and there, that's like the best acted scene in the entire film. You've got Carl Weathers just kind of like subtly taking it in. The real battle is Carl Weathers versus his own ego. Creed just kind of dealing with the fact that like, oh, this like dumb hick I picked off the street to fight the Italian stallion because it sounds cool. It sounds like a monster movie.
You're describing Rocky 2, but it's Rocky.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's that whole,
You're
like,
exactly right. You're totally correct.
that's my favorite scene, aside from the tender moment where it's like, I just want to go the distance.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Only 2 sips into the cocktail. It's coming. Don't worry.
You know.
Watching this again, analytically, as we do now, I love this movie. Not only do I love this movie, but the people who made this movie loved making movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is a true amateur film in every sense of the word, meaning amateur being a loving, a person who really loves to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're not professional, but the true amateur of making movies for the sake of making movies. Telling a good story. I don't have a favorite scene. I don't have a favorite part. I can't really pick it apart, but I got the sense overall from the entire thing. Everybody put everything they had into it, especially Stallone. And I'm kind of like falling in love with it all over again.
Yeah.
It's just so good. It's everything. It's all the heart that we used to have before we're sapped dry by capitalism.
I think we still got the heart. We just need to actually,
all we need to do what Javier does and watch this movie like more than once a year.
Exactly.
Get motivated to do that.
Get the inspiration back.
But from that high note, going into nitpicks, maybe did you have more?
I can go forever. I can go forever. But no, I can wait.
No, slap a couple in.
Rocky's sort of rant to Mickey, or not to Mickey, but it's more like at Mickey. But it's just like the buildup of all of these thoughts and the stuff that he's really feeling, or what he's hearing, and it's just such an incredible performance by Stallone. And like you said, like it just generally feels like, I know that Stallone did put some real life kind of feelings and experiences into this film, and so I think it really comes out in the film. Like when you see it, you're like, you feel it. You're like, hey, that's really Rocky. Like Rocky's there. He's not a character. Like that's actually a person. And it's so good. Especially I think too, remembering like kind of what Stallone kind of became, later on, which happens to a lot of actors, but
that one scene where
like I said, it's very earnest.
That's like, they don't make movies like this anymore, obviously, but that's a huge like theater moment where Mickey comes up to say hi. They have a very awkward conversation, aggressive, they try to push each other apart and they start screaming at each other. Then they come back together at the end. Fucking poetry, man.
Yeah. Fucking love Mickey. He's such a piece of shit. He's amazing. No, he's just so
I forgot about him being
so cantankerous. Yeah.
What a piece of wake. And then, lastly, I just want to say too, that to the very end of the movie, Rocky stays true to his character, right? Despite what happens in the later films, right? At the end, after the big fight, right? The audience, it drones out the results of the fight, and Rocky doesn't give a shit. He's trying to look for, again, because it could have easily been like, oh my God, I can't believe I won.
Yeah.
And,
I'm amazing.
Which again, I wouldn't say would be a bad choice per se, but this is just the better choice. Which, it's so good. He wants Adrianne. That's what he's, he wants to get back to Adrianne as quickly as possible and be like, hey, remember we talked about I did it, So it's just, and it's so good.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that in this movie. It is a huge character moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From what we know of sports movies today, that kind of stuff, it's still selfish, but it's almost selfless. Like they're just like not caring about the results of the fight, it being over, but just wanting to be together again. Yeah, they don't make these anymore.
No.
If we made them now, they would crucify us. Thank you for bringing this movie up. For picking this movie, because it's like it's awesome to revisit it.
Yeah, thank you for making me watch this movie
for
the first time.
That's amazing. I can't believe. Yeah, but right on, man.
Nitpicks. For nitpicks, I mean, I don't have any real nitpicks. I'm not intimidated by this Gatso guy.
Yeah,
for a big like mob guy, drug pusher, whatever. He's not scary at all.
I feel like you're not supposed to be intimidated by him because you're supposed to be intimidated by Rocky and his muscle and stuff like that. So it's like he's very much like doing his criminal underworld bullshit, but he's like at his core, he's actually like, oh, that guy has more heart than half the characters in this movie. Like I was
This might be reaching, but I kind of took it as, because I did notice it with a lot of the characters in the movie, is that I feel like they did a good job of kind of, like you said, showing that Philadelphia's kind of a piece of shit, to be honest, right? But like again, it's like that whole, it's like, well, not necessarily like the people's fault, but rather like the system, or and so I think maybe the intention with Gatso was to be like, well, I mean, yeah, he's a crime boss, but it's only because like that's what he's got to do to make his money or to survive or whatever. So he's not like a bad guy. He's just kind of per se, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
the one thing I'm
they don't want to make him like a villainous character.
I suppose so. And he just like gives Rock money for the date and the training and all that. And I'm totally for that. Yeah. But like when he pulls Rocky aside to get mad at him for not breaking that guy's thumb, fell completely flat for me. I was like, what, are you trying to intimidate Rocky? And like, what? Right? Yeah.
It kind of felt more like pulling like a stock boy aside, like at a grocery store. Like, you gotta put the rice-a-roni labels out.
Yeah, why didn't you push the tuna?
Yeah, exactly.
FIFO, first in, first out.
Exactly. People aren't gonna buy the rice-a-roni if they don't know it's rice-a-roni. If you turn the box, you got it labels out. You gotta just do that. Like, it felt very like, it didn't feel very like kind of foreboding and evil. It felt just like a boss just kind of nitpicking your work, basically.
Yeah. I guess just really quick, my only other nitpick is I don't have any sympathy for Paulie.
Oh,
this character, I think they were trying to garner sympathy and some sort of trying to make him sad and like, I can't muster it.
Yeah, that one's tough. And I'll be honest, I'd probably have to think about it like really, really, really hard to see if I'm like drawing at all from any sort of like personal experience at all. But I kind of want to say that's where my mind goes. And like maybe like, just one of those things where like, I mean, again, a lot of people who are pieces of shit are pieces of shit for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's more to kind of show, again, to reinforce Rocky's character, right? That Rocky's willing to be like, hey, I'm overlooking your huge fucking flaws because I know that there's a part of you that does care to some extent or is or was at one point maybe, right? They've been friends for a while.
Her name is Adrianne.
Right, yeah. yeah. So that's kind of how I took it. It was more, the sympathy that is more... Yeah.
Well, when they first meet up in the bathroom, when they're like sharing a beer in the bathroom, the broken mirror, I'm like, this is real friendship.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, why?
Yeah. I mean, maybe we don't. We don't have to know, right? I mean,
it's also an East Coast culture.
Sure.
It's very, very different.
Is it? Yeah.
From my limited experience being over there.
I mean, like, I get the Paulie thing in the sense that, like, I've had my share and still have my share of dirtbag friends. So it's like, and, if you're listening, dirtbag friends, I still love you. But yeah, it is that thing of, like, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole, like that kind of. So I guess that's kind of what they're going for with that whole story arc. Yeah, I mean, it's more fleshed out in the later movies. It's much easier to live with and laugh at and maybe feel sorry for Paulie.
Yeah, they have that. It's a really good moment, and I think you're thinking one of the newer ones, I think.
Oh, just all of them.
Yeah,
everything he does after this is kind of like, oh, I kind of feel for him now. He's getting, But like for this movie, I can't deal with drunk people. That's me. I have no sympathy for people who behave that way because they're just drunk all the time.
Sure.
Even though that's also a disease and not their fault for the most part. No sympathy. I just want to get them help. But those are my nitpicks. I mean, that's it. Like I said, this is a true amateur film, and it is like from beginning to end, top to bottom, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I got two. One, which I assumed is kind of just the default one that we all kind of as a society have, which is the apartment scene.
That's a big generalization.
Or the kissing Adrianne in the apartment.
Oh yeah. There's the consent
and I mean,
thing.
I've seen like explanations and like articles and online and stuff, and trying to like people talking about whatever body language or like certain context clues or whatever. But it's just like it's still the fact that it still kind of makes me a little. It's like I still don't think it came across the way that you supposedly maybe intended it to.
Yeah, it was very poorly put together.
Yeah, especially nowadays, I feel like it's even stronger.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I don't have an explanation for that. It was cringe. The whole thing was fucking. Oh my god. I'm thinking that's just how it used to be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those.
It was expected that the man was going to push.
Yeah.
And the woman was going to be like, no. And like that's how it was romantic or whatever. But nowadays we call that consent problems.
Yeah, like back then it was baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Show me more. Did she put up a fight?
Yeah, that mentality. That was a tough watch. It was either as tough or almost as tough as seeing all the beer bottles stuffed in the couch.
I fucking loved that, by the way. I lost
it. Disgusting fucking apartment.
How do you not just clean up a little bit?
That had me that was one of my favorite moments in the whole film is like seeing his apartment. He has no less than 2 knives stabbed into, he's got a knife just in his mattress that I assume folds down kind of like a...
Oh no, that's a punching bag.
Oh, it's a punching bag? Okay, well he has a knife in that because apparently, you got to win by any means necessary. And then the fucking knife in the wall that's his hat, like his hat
his
rack.
hat rack. Yeah.
That was honestly, okay, I take it back. That's one of my favorite moments in the film. It's just the sheer amount of violence in his apartment.
I got one more, but I don't know if you have something.
I'm holding my tongue.
You are? Okay, cool. Then I'll say one. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll say one more. My only other one, which I'm curious to get your guys' opinion on it. But so in the final fight, Rocky versus Apollo, there's like a lot of really not bad shots where you can tell that they're not making contact or that they're clearly straight up like, that's a miss.
Oh, the first fight was like that too.
Okay, yeah, but I think it's more evident in the last one because it's so long and but I just didn't know if like I was like, oh, some part of me wondered like, oh, I wonder if that's, with my experience in like martial arts and things like that, I wondered like, do other people pick up on like is it just that obvious or is it just really obvious for me?
It was obvious for me because I study stunts and I also boxed.
Yeah,
so it's like it's very obvious they're not hitting each other.
Yeah,
and if you watch movies like Ip Man or Ong Bak, they are hitting each other.
Yeah, oh yeah,
they're smashing the shit out of each other.
The Raid,
you can see the impact. You can see but they're also wearing pads and helmets and and they just didn't have that tech in the 80s. Yeah. They're also not wearing shirts or anything, so it's like I don't know. So it's not a huge glaring thing for me, but like enough that it does moments take me out a little bit. Like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. Yeah,
that's this movie.
Well, there's it's like that in 4 too. Like there's some bad ones in 4. There's a bad one in 3 with Mr. T, just like miles away. Yeah, but for me, that's part of the charm of these movies.
Sure, yeah.
It's grown on me a lot, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't really notice it too much. Just like maybe my liquor-addled brain and like my love of professional wrestling, basically. So because I'm all about the fucking like stage punches, and the stomp to like make the sound. So it's like,
totally.
It just flew past me personally. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. No, it doesn't kill the movie for me. It's just one of those things where like, again,
it is.
If I had a time machine and limited time to like what to do with that movie, and like I guess I'll go back and hey guys, a little closer. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That looks great. Awesome.
Well, I noticed in the first fight they were doing the choreography well. The choreographer was also Stallone, by the way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw that.
He did a lot of roles in this movie. But when they're punching, Rocky's back is to the camera, so you can't see who's getting hit or
better.
Not. Yeah, it pays off a lot better. But at the side or at the top, it's hard to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that putting you out of the moment, but
a little bit. But again, it's like such a beloved movie that again, I just kind of like.
I struggle to think of a movie that came out before this that does what it does. Action-wise, heart-wise, fight-wise.
Sure.
This is the roadmap for how to do it. And they were learning how to do it in this movie, and by the second movie, they know how to fucking do it. It's just amateur. Yeah. Amateur film.
So this is the part where we're going to pull Chuck's mic.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just cut it out and post too.
Ding, 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 ding. In this corner, wearing the gray trunks and red top, we've got... the scrapper, the fighter, we've got weighing in at 205 pounds. We've got Chuck Thomas Starzenski, the Polish pounder. Anyways, I'm about to go in on this movie. I'm sorry, Javi. Ooh. And again, disclaimer for you and for the audience. I am coming to this with future eyes because, again, I realized that I thought I'd seen it, haven't seen it.
Sure. I think it's time for our first ad break.
Exactly. My biggest one is Adrianne and Rocky's romance, and I use that term loosely. Like, this poor fucking woman, dude. Like, she might have, like, underlying attraction to Rock, but, like, Adrianne is working on herself. She has no interest in being in a relationship or dating anybody. She literally gets, like, forced out her door. Like, the scene where... her Thanksgiving turkey is thrown into the alley.
Horrible.
And is forced onto a date with Rocky. Like, that shit was so heartbreaking and hard to watch. Yeah. And like, doubling down on Polly being a piece of shit. Like, I understand movies where it's like, oh yeah, it's like you've got your rough around the edges friend or whatever, but he's the most miserable piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for him to like, the turn never happened and I was kind of pissed off about it. I was waiting for Polly to sabotage him because it's like, put me on, introduce me to your mafia goons. Like, I can be a hitman. I can do it. I can be like, I can break legs. And it's like, no, it's not for you. And it's like, this is my sister. And like literally pimping his sister out and then literally asking Rock later, like, you fucker, like kind of thing. And it's like, oh, dude, no, that's like, even Rocky is like, that's your sister?
Yeah.
like, let's move on, bud. So yeah, Polly's a piece of shit. And then my other biggest one, aside from poor Adrianne, is Rocky. I have to hard disagree here. Rocky isn't an interesting enough character to warrant the first 40 minutes of world building. I find the first 40 minutes incredibly dull. Mm-hmm. Like, I find him bouncing a fucking ball down the street and telling children to like not use swear words or else they'll be called whores. Like, not super interesting.
Yeah.
And like every time Apollo came on in the like as we're like building the story. I was like, oh fuck yeah, here we go, Apollo Creed, let's go. And he's like, Apollo's articulate, and he's got like a plan with his boxing career. He's got things to say, and every time we get to Rocky, he's just like, and this might be more personal world experience, but Rocky is just so fucking annoying. Rocky is every bartender I've ever worked with who I did not have a personal connection with. Like, Rocky is the guy that I've worked like so many bartending gigs with. I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, dude, I can't talk about Borat 2 anymore. Like, that's all we have in common is we've both seen Borat 2. He's just the guy who's like, dude, you know what it's like, right? Like, you, yeah, it's like when you pour, you know, and it's like, did you say words? Did things come out of your mouth? Holy shit. Like, yeah, it's just, and then just his repetitive stories. And I get, like, I appreciate the amateur filmmaking aspect. There's things that I do love about this movie, but Stallone's ad-libbing is not one of them.
Oh yeah, no, it's a struggle. But,
yeah,
but we get to watch him improve too.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. And this, I mean, I watch my old movies going, damn, this is stupid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I still watch my new movies going, damn, this is stupid. But
absolutely. No, like, I mean, yeah, pot is calling the kettle black here, but it's like very much like just, like for such an iconic movie.
We should play the Rocky right up against your tent video.
Exactly. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
We can keep this fight going.
No, that's I think legitimate.
Yeah.
If you didn't grow up watching this, I could see entering into it that way. Be like being like abrasive, and the ad-libbing, the talk. It's also like a time capsule.
Yeah.
And a location capsule, like East Coast Philly. It's their own thing. If you showed this to someone from Philly, they would be fucking so happy, and like, just, you know, I don't know. It's different for people from there, I think.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And you know what's funny is, you know, totally making the connection here, but yeah, your description of like the bartender, like, that's my dad.
Oh,
that's my. So
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But just like,
Mr. Martinez, if you're listening,
it's okay. He doesn't understand English fully, so it's all good. No,
lo siento, Senor Martinez.
No, but like, again, it's like, yeah, like, in seeing it at such a young age, like, yeah, maybe my mind was making those connections of like, that's why, like, I kind of, you know, bought into his character a little bit more, because I'm like, oh, like, yeah, like, I know that guy, and he's kind of raising me, you know, like, you know, that whole like, I was talking. I'm like, what are you talking about, Dad? Like, what just happened?
I kind of picked up on that, and I was afraid to push the idea, but
yeah, a little bit. Not a ton, but not a ton,
yeah.
but like a little bit. Yeah. So I wonder.
I can see that.
Yeah, that was also like a thing that went through my head too. Is like, you know, like these problematic dudes that I've known and worked with, and like have been friends with and stuff like that. It's like, oh fuck, did you guys just watch Rocky too many times? Is that why we think Jessica's a bitch? Because Jessica didn't just buckle like Adrianne did? Like, fuck, you guys suck. Stallone, you suck too for teaching these guys to think like this.
Yeah. My defense of their romance is that they did know each other for quite a while before.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like all of a sudden, you know, Rocky's trying to make friends with her, and he's not giving up. And he's not like being overly pushy. She's not like, you know, pointing a knife at him saying, get the fuck away from me. And we learn in the end that Paulie was gaslighting her into thinking she wasn't worth anything, which is pretty a common theme.
Yeah. Which is also like, why are we still kicking it with Polly?
Rainy Day double features. This is one I haven't watched. I haven't seen Rocky that often. Also, Raging Bull, I haven't watched very much that often. I'm interested to watch that again and compare.
That's a good one.
Because I think that's also a movie that has boxing in it, but also is not about boxing.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a movie about jealousy.
Yeah, and like inner demons and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'll pick the obvious one for me, is Rocky 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And
just
again,
jump in.
No, and it was fun because literally I was watching it, you know, on my streaming service that, you know, it's got that automatic, like, it pops up, hey, you want to watch Rocky 2? And I was like, yeah, fucking absolutely. My wife was like, you really going to watch this? Like, well, no, it's kind of late. And I was like, I really want to. It's like, oh, well, you know, then she ended up kind of watching the movie kind of with me. So she's like, well, I kind of enjoyed that one too. So can we just watch this a different day? Because I kind of want to watch the second one, but like not right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, but I really want to. So yeah, for me, it's got to be Rocky 2. And
okay.
And by default, it would just literally lead into Rocky 3 and Rocky 4.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. This is an easy marathon set. Yeah. And you can, when you get to the recap, you can just skip forward and like cut out 25 minutes.
Totally, absolutely. I do every time. Absolutely. Yeah. I really do.
Previously on Rocky.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I went Cool Runnings because it's another sports training movie.
Nice. Yeah.
I want to watch that again.
I fucking love Cool Runnings so much.
I watched that 1,000 times as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those films where winning or losing isn't the point of the film. The fact is that people from Jamaica got to compete in a winter sport at all. That's the whole purpose of the film.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's like, obviously they're not going to, beat the Swedes in snow.
Yeah.
But the fact that they just placed is like, what the fuck? How?
Yeah.
I missed that movie. I might go watch it tonight.
Dougie Doug, dude.
Yeah. On to this movie's cocktail, which I am choking over.
Yeah, it's a thick one. She's a thick mistress. For today's cocktail, we've got the Yolk Adrianne. So
it makes sense now.
Yeah. You start with 1 raw egg, an ounce of brandy, half an ounce of Amaro, quarter ounce of a maraschino liqueur, half an ounce of an Orgeat simple syrup. So you dry shake all the ingredients, including the egg, then add ice and vigorously shake again. Strain into a coupe glass and down it in one shot with a cigarette as part of your morning workout routine.
It is tasty.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
oh, it's good.
Not knocking it anyway.
No, it's kind of like a slightly cherry eggnog kind of basically.
Yeah. Before we go on, I wanted to. I wrote this down as like an intro, and I forgot to do it. But this movie brought to you by smoking
Yeah, exactly.
and free debris for your street shoots.
I love that it's like, you gotta cut that out, Rock, you're training. Like, cause he's like smoking. And then it's just like the rest of the film, Mickey's like basically lighting his cigarettes for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, Rock, you really gotta lay off the broads, you gotta lay off the sticks.
Oh, he gets out of his first fight and takes that already lit cigarette from that guy. That's man.
My dad was a heavy smoker.
Is he?
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah. I mean, I used to smoke too, but like, would I take a cigarette that's already wet from a guy, from some greasy guy at a boxing match?
I mean, maybe if you got the shit beat out of you.
I guess. He did take the next one from behind his ear, which is probably twice as gross.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've wanted it that bad. I won't. Can't put myself above that. Let's take our first ad break.
Yeah. Thanks again, Philip Morris. And welcome back to Nostalgia Killers Trivia, where we ask our hosts with the most if they know a thing or two about the film we're reviewing. And, I am not hosting this one. We're going to throw it over to Javier Martinez, who is hosting trivia this episode. Thank you very much, Javi.
Hey, yo, Chuck, it's my turn to take a shot, it's my turn. So I'm going to take over trivia this time.
You're a bum, Chuck.
You're worth nothing, Chuck.
You're a tomato.
You could have done trivia 10 years ago, but look at you.
You're just a bone crusher now.
Number 1. Which of these boxing films did not win Best Picture? A. This movie, Rocky. B. Raging Bull. Or C. $1 Million Baby.
I'm going to go Raging Bull B.
I'm going to go with this movie.
The answer is B. Raging Bull. Surprisingly, blew me away. I was like, "There's how?" Especially when,
So weird.
No, it lost to Ordinary People, which I haven't seen, to be honest.
Nor I.
Not even know what it is.
Neither have I. I only figured it was Raging Bull because the Academy fucking hates Scorsese. He's
I was thinking about that. That's what I was.
Now that he's ancient, they kind of gave him like an Oscar for, not to say The Departed isn't a good movie, but he got an Oscar for The Departed because they were like, oh, he's getting fucking old, dude. This might be his last one. And then he's like, psych, I'm gonna make like 12 more movies.
Yeah.
So,
But Rocky and $1 Million Baby did win Best Picture.
Right on. I knew $1 Million Baby did.
Which I really liked, but I don't know.
Most people liked it. Some people liked it.
yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it till the end. I thought the end was a cop out.
Yeah, I know some people who are really, really upset about that.
And on to question number 2. So, Sylvester Stallone suffered permanent damage to his body during the filming of this film, though it did not occur during the final fight. What did he injure? Was it A, his knuckles, B, his right testicle, or C, his ACL?
I'm going to say C, his ACL, because he tore it like doing all of the running that he probably did not stretch for because it was the 70s.
I'm going to go for the right testicle just because it's funnier and very specific. Like, why not the lefty? I don't know.
None of you guys got it right.
Oh, shit.
I was really hoping that right testicle one sound cool. It's funny enough to throw you off. No, it's A, his knuckles. And it was during the meat locker scene.
Oh, yeah.
So he was punching the carcasses so hard that he like ended up busting his knuckles and like, you know, they're still messed up to this day, apparently, according to him.
Yeah, he wasn't taped. And he was going full force.
Yeah, and also just like, you know, it's like as much as you try to aim for like the meat on those ribs, it's like you're going to hit bone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Number 3. This film features Stallone's favorite scene in the entire Rocky saga. Which scene is it? Is it A, the apartment kissing scene?
God damn it, Stallone.
B, the punching meat scene? Or C, Rocky's argument with Mick?
I'm going to go with C.
I'm going to want to go with C as well.
Fucking hack.
It is A.
Yeah,
The
I knew
apartment
it would
kissing
be.
scene.
See, we were joking about you not winning this. I think you're winning so far.
Yeah. I was also like, that's why I was like, God damn it, Stallone. The fact that you were like, that was an option. I was like, that's his favorite
Yeah,
scene.
the fact that you guys were laughing, I thought you guys had read that, but
No.
Yeah.
I didn't do any. I didn't do any like super studying just so I could be quizzed on this.
yeah. So that was his favorite scene because he really liked the way it turned out, which again is fucking
It turned out because he wrote it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
No, it's crazy. I got the girl and everything. It's like, yeah, because you wrote, and then I get the girl and everything.
It was a oneer. It was
Just
like,
wild to me that out of
fucking-
everything, like there's
Jesus.
like 50 scenes that I would name before I got to there.
I try to like back him up and redeem him somehow. But that's just
No, you guys got to get into this movie making thing. You can just like, push yourself on people and they can't say no.
Yeah.
Anyways, my buddy, I met this cool guy named Weinstein at a party the other night. Like,
Oh no. And then funny additional tidbit about that. So Talia Shire was actually sick, really sick with the flu during that scene. And so she didn't want to get Stallone sick. And so she was like, well, we can just film another time. And he said, no, we'll just do it now. And so apparently some of her hesitation in those scenes is like her trying to figure out a way to like breathe away from Stallone. Yeah.
that's incredible.
wow.
Yeah. So,
Good for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't her just trying to run away. Like,
Question number 4. Prior to the making of Rocky, Stallone was broke, had $106 to his name, and was living out of the back of his car. He was so broke that he had to sell a prized possession in order to get some funds. What did he sell? A signed Babe Ruth card gifted to him by his late father. B, a script for another film which he eventually really regretted. Or C, his dog, which he eventually bought back.
I'm gonna go with Butkus, the dog,
That's pretty good. Yeah.
because he's credited in the film. Like, I believe that story.
I was going to say, just to make things interesting, and because you called me a copycat last time, in my heart of hearts, I feel like it's the dog. But I'm going to go with his script, because he probably,
Well, wouldn't you know, Chuck, it's the dog.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, so he had to sell Butkus.
It's not his dead dad because his dad's alive in the movie.
Yeah, good catch. Yep. Yeah, no. So it was Butkus. He sold him for something like $200, and when he went to buy him back, the owner was like, "Yeah, for $5,000." And Stallone said, "That's fine. I'll do that."
Wow.
Which
Damn.
I mean, that's
Got that movie
almost how
making
much
money.
that's almost how much a dog is worth now.
Right.
And so back then, that's fucking insane.
Wow.
That's double digits for sure.
Well, good for the dog.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it had a pretty happy life after that.
Happy for the dog, not happy for Talia.
Number 5, true or false? The late Carl Weathers, may he rest in peace, was one of Stallone's first friends in Hollywood and agreed to star in the film in order to help keep Stallone's low budget down.
I'm going to go true.
I'm gonna go true. I trust in Carl.
It is false.
Ah.
Yeah, they were not friends at this time. And actually, the way he got the role was that during the audition, during sparring, Carl Weathers started complaining about Stallone, saying that if he had a real actor to work with, or the actual actor to work with, that he would do a better job. To which Stallone replied, I am the actor. To which Carl Weathers responded, maybe you can get better. And
Whoa.
Stallone immediately hired him after he said that.
That's the
Because
attitude
it
you
was exactly Apollo's Creed character. So he said, I like it.
That's
That's
great.
incredible. Also, it's incredible just to be like, hey, so I got this script. You come meet me in my garage. I'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
No, it's an audition.
Question number 6. The iconic shot of Rocky running up the steps was inspired by the final shot in a reel cut to promote a new piece of film tech, of which Rocky was only the second film ever to feature it. What was this tech?
Steadicam.
I'm not going to copy this. Luke whispered Steadicam in case that wasn't as audible as it should have been. I am going to say shoulder mount.
Wow, Luke, that is right. It is the Steadicam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't look it up, but I knew that concurrently, The Shining was using it and it was made at the same time.
Yeah. So actually, The Shining was a year or two after that.
They started developing the Steadicam for The Shining. Shining did start, but Kubrick was on it.
But
I just realized that watching it
I didn't
last
know
night,
that, and I was like, oh, that's insane.
That's smooth as fuck going up the stairs. What did they use? Like, Steadicam.
Yeah.
And it's not like the super fancy arm ones you see now. It's like the ones we used in college, just holding it out on a pole with a weight on the bottom. Yeah, it's that deal.
Yeah. So the inventor, did that same shot with his girlfriend or his partner at the time.
Yeah.
And the director, John Elvinson, saw that and said, oh, I'm going to do that exact thing.
Yeah.
All right, now we're moving on to our alternate casting questions. Number 7. The role of Adrianne was originally auditioned for by an actress who was not cast due to being deemed too attractive for the character. Was it A, Diane Keaton, B, Susan Sarandon, or C, Jessica Lange?
I have absolutely no idea, but I would go for Lang.
Trying to guess. I'm trying to think age-wise.
At this time, they're kind of all the same age.
Yeah. I'm going to go B, Susan Sarandon.
Ding, ding, ding. It is B, Susan Sarandon.
Hey!
Ooh, check that one.
That's right.
Yeah, which personal to me is wild because I'd say she's just as attractive as Talia Shire, or Talia Shire is just as attractive as her, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
who knows why? I mean,
I don't love them particularly.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, the woman who plays Adrianne in this, like, she looks to me like a cross between Shelley Duvall and I want to say like Neve Campbell, or like Sandra Bullock, basically, like that kind of very similar facial structure.
I had a really difficult time figuring out how old people were in this movie.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be playing people around 30.
I can answer that for you. They actually are 30.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That makes sense. But they look so much older.
Which fitting into the theme of the movie, I don't know, for me, I'm pretty close to 30. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so I can still do it. Sweet.
Yeah.
My dad was right. I just
Still
gotta
got a
believe. I
chance.
still got a chance.
Hey, I'll be your Mick, man. I'll be in your corner.
I'll be your girl in the pet shop.
He's got the dress.
Exactly. Also got the turtle food.
Yeah.
Cases of it if you need it.
And this one's a pretty simple one. Number 8. Stallone's original choice for Polly. Was it A, Mickey Rooney, B, Alan Arkin, or C, Harvey Keitel?
Go A, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, I'll pick Keitel. I have no idea.
Ding, 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 ding. It is C, Harvey Keitel.
Wow.
Yeah. But I thought Mickey Rooney was a good...
I thought Mickey Rooney was like,
sense, right?
well, that's like, because I was trying to think of like, it's the 70s and like Mickey Rooney is like already got some like clout. And like, I know Keitel probably did Taxi Driver by now, but I was like,
Yeah, but none of those guys were as dirtbaggy.
no. And I thought like, and I was like, Keitel's too young in the 70s.
Yeah.
You
So
would
that's
be
why
right.
I was like, oh, Mickey Rooney makes sense.
Yeah. No, I guess he really wanted him, but I think it was scheduling conflicts.
Which is what you say when you don't want to be in someone's movie.
Yeah. Oh, that explains
I got this
a lot,
other thing. Sorry, man.
And then now we're moving on to our final question, which is a suspicious connections question. Suspicious connections question. I can talk.
I've heard it. He can.
Hopefully this isn't too easy for you guys because I had no idea about this, but maybe you guys did.
I looked and I didn't find any, so I'm interested to see what you found.
Talia Shire has a famous older brother. This famous brother directed another film which stars Talia Shire alongside our suspicious connection. Who is the director? What film is it? And who is the suspicious connection?
Her brother is randomly, I'm just gonna, just for the fun of the pod. Her brother's Tim Burton. And so Beetlejuice and Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, I have no idea. James Cameron? James Cameron?
Cameron. Yeah, this was a hard one, but I was so blown away and I had to kind of like find a way to put it in there. So Talia Shire's older brother is Francis Ford Coppola.
What the
Father,
fuck?
that guy's related to everybody.
Yeah. I was like, no
I'm
way.
not surprised.
Yeah. So obviously Francis Ford Coppola directed The Godfather.
Yeah,
which stars
she's
James
also-
Caan.
she is in that one,
She's in that one, right?
Yeah.
Nepotism.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Talia Shire to Nick Cage.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my God.
wild. Yeah, and there's like a couple more too that are like second, third cousins, like somehow like
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned one the other. It's of course I can't remember right now that we're recording, but I learned another one that was like, wait, what? They're like a Coppola?
Yeah.
No way. And then I had to look it up, and I was like, holy motherfucker!
Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's I might be totally wrong. We can look it up after, but I want to say it's Jason Schwartzman.
Yes, that's exactly who it was.
Yeah, I remember the face, and I'm like, is it the Jason Schwartzman or
Yeah, that like blew me away. I was like, how?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine.
You know, it's even a little weirder. I mean, the Coppolas are from around here, but we also went to college with someone who grew up with the Coppolas and like went to their house and played with their kids all the time.
What?
You guys remember Santino?
Oh yeah,
Altamura, the guy who was always dressed really like the sharpest guy dressed in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like friends with their family.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
wild.
So even we're connected to him somehow. So
Yeah.
can't get away from the fucking Coppola's family. Man.
No.
Additional useless trivia that ties into that too. So the barge that Rocky runs alongside of in that shot is the same barge, is the same boat that is featured in The Godfather 2 that drops off or that brings Vito to the United States.
I noticed the ship. This is going to sound, I mean, I'll get murdered for this, but I've never seen the Godfather movies. So,
Oh.
yeah.
So is it one of those where like you've basically seen
the
it?
Ship,
or like
it's basically I know like all the trivia about it. I know so much about the movies already just from osmosis, just from being in this area.
So The Godfather is your Rocky.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Chuck's Rocky, yeah.
Exactly.
But the ship I did recognize. It's not only in that movie and a bunch of other movies. It's like one of the last cargo tall ships because it's a cargo ship that actually has fucking sails, has 4 masts on it, and it's not. It had a motor on it put on after, but it was like from World War One. Yeah. It's like really popular. I forget the name of it. The best background they had in the movie because everything else was trash.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that trivia, Javier.
Yeah, thank you.
It was good. I liked it.
Absolutely.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of things I
Thanks
didn't
for
know.
participating. I am very, very glad to announce that our winner for this trivia today was Luke.
I'm not surprised. Let's go ahead and move on to thanking our executive producer. Should be executive producers, but so far only Addie Martinez has been
Yo, Eddie! Thanks for
enough.
looking out, kid.
Oh, she's leaving now.
I know. Hey, let me tell you this really interesting story. 17 times. Hold on.
The Talia Shire to my Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, God damn.
Yes, I just compared myself to Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, hey. It's got to be done sometime. But if you too would like to be an executive producer and have your name shouted out on an episode, you can support us on Patreon for $15 a month.
And for $20 a month, you know, maybe I'll grease the wheels at a local ice rink, and you know, we'll go out, we'll take the rink for 10 minutes, and I'll just like walk by you as you skate, and I'll just berate you as you're trying to like enjoy one moment of peace away from your awful abusive brother.
And for $30, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. $30, we'll just leave you alone.
Come on, guys. It's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
It's just Thursday to me.
Talk about that in a minute, but let's go take our second ad break.
Ad break number 2.
And we're back with Act 3 and your third host for the evening. For the awards. We've kind of all taken a turn tonight. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
And we'll start off with my new band name. And mine kind of ties in with tonight's cocktail. I got Salmonella Breakfast Chug.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time in my life where I was told not to touch raw eggs or to wash the shit out of your hands or you get salmonella bacteria poisoning. And Rocky's just fucking breaking 6 of them into a glass and chugging them on camera. How many takes of that did they do? How many fucking eggs did he eat?
Like a lot, I'm sure.
I didn't see anything on that, but
I'm sure also it's just that thing too where he's just like, yeah, this is a thing that men do. Like, I feel like that was just his like own weird machismo brought in.
I'm sure. What about you guys? Band names.
So my favorite one that I have is Sounds Like Monster Movies, and it's a screamo band, and it's a reference to Apollo describing the Italian stallion versus sounds like a damn monster movie.
Dialogue so cheesy in this movie. I love it. It's very 70s. I want to say 80s, but they just rolled over into the 80s.
Yeah. And then I have, which this one might be, I didn't bother to look it up, but I have Never Been Broken. That's Rocky referring to his nose.
Yeah.
Never Been Broken, and that's like an alt rock, like some fucking...
It's like a straight edge hardcore band too. Never touched a drug before, Never Been Broken.
Yeah.
It's actually a purity band. Like.
Exactly, yeah.
I got Thinker Not a Stinker. It's a Christian rock band.
Nice.
Be a thinker, not a stinker.
I also had Thinker Not a Stinker, but I had it as Apollo the Stinker. And it's a wordy backpack rapper. And yeah, the line we're both referring to is, be a thinker, not a stinker. Apollo referring to kids wanting to stay in school and not become boxers or sports enthusiasts or athletes.
Mm-hmm.
My second one is American? ? No, smart. And they're an like anarchist like punk band. And it's because of a bit where Apollo is talking to the promoter. And he's like, yeah, we get like a Joe Schmo. We get like this guy off the streets of Philly. It's going to be great. And the promoter's like, oh, that's great. That's very American. And Apollo's like, no, it's very smart.
Can we talk for a moment about the a cappella group on the street?
That was so strange and fun and good. I wanted them to come back so bad.
I know. I was just curious, like, was that supposed to be cool? Was that like the precursor to Run DMC? Was like that's supposed to be like, hey, Rocky lives in a cool, hip neighborhood.
It's a Philly thing, man.
I thought they were like, also like I saw
That's
them.
what I was thinking.
I automatically see a cappella and I'm just like, oh, those are like, like missionaries or something. Like those are like, they're like Christian,
those are the dangerous bums.
Yeah, exactly.
in the neighborhood.
No, and then Rock like grabs a fifth from one of them. I was like, whoa, the acapella kid is drinking? No. The acapella kid is not drinking. That's not how things work here.
Yeah, he gets a light and takes a swig of wine or something from him. It's like,
and he's like, keep on trucking, mate, like kind of thing. It's like, no, it's not. And my final band name is Weak in the Shees, female punk band, little riot girl action. But the line is, women weak in the legs, Rock.
Oh, yeah.
You got to stop talking to the pet shop broad.
Onto our Roger Deakins Would Be Proud Award for cinematography. We already mentioned the Philadelphia Steps, the Steadicam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty much a hack, and that's what I chose.
Hey, I mean, those were favorite scenes. I was a hack too. It was just like the things that are good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like the run up to the steps. It was just the arms up at the top of the steps. So iconic. Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's the Rocky for me.
So I mean, this time watching it around, I never realized like how many, like almost the entire thing is just like a bunch of long takes.
Bunch of oneers, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so good. I mean,
That was
some of them are kind of like cheesy, but like there's a lot of ones that I'm like, fuck, that was really, wait, this is still one take. Like
that was how they made movies back then. I don't want to say it was an economical choice to like save on film and setups and stuff, but that helps.
Yeah.
But like, if you look at Sergio Leone, all those films, they're all about the long take.
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie does them really well. They're woven in expertly. Yeah.
So the one specific one that I chose, which is great because again, it's one of those, but it's also like one of those amazing character choices that I'm like, yes, so good. In the pet shop, at one point, we're looking at Adrianne through the birdcage, and then it slowly pans to the right to the mirror. So we get that reverse of Rocky.
A lot of those in this, yeah.
Getting him talking, and then it pans back through the birdcage back to Adrianne.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, on the nose, Adrianne's, locked up in the cage. She's a little bird. It's just, so good.
Yeah. So good. No, whatever I bash this movie for, like, this movie's fucking iconic, and the cinematography is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, they did their job. Like, they, oh my God, chef's kiss.
This was them figuring it out, and it became the instruction manual for a lot of people afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, very important stuff.
Yeah, I've got two. I've got a push and a pull. So I've got a pull from the TV set of Rocky's interview at the meat shop.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it like comes slowly back through Apollo's crew.
Yeah.
And like ends on Apollo having a meeting with his promoter. And he's basically just talking about how like, this fucking Rocky, like Rocky's not shit or anything like that. And like his, one of his cronies, one of the members of his crew is watching the interview like, oh, no, like we need to worry. This guy's
so
fucking
good.
nuts. This is going to be a terrible time. We need to like, no, this is not just a stunt performance. And then my other one is another Adrianne shot, and it's like one of those moments kind of similar to the birdcage, but it's like another moment of like, oh, Adrianne having like being a human being and like being atomic and stuff. It's like, I think it's either post-date or pre-date, but it's a push from the hallway. It's pre-date. It's a push from the hallway where Rock and Polly are talking, and it's a push from them into Adrianne's reflection in the mirror. And it's just this moment of her just kind of like, you pick up everything, all the subtlety, everything that's happening in her head. You're just like, oh yeah, this woman is like terrified, does not want to do any of this. She is not, in charge of her own life. And it's fucking depressing, but it's a great shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this movie's full of them. It's just really good. Right on. Is that Channing Tatum and a Dog Collar Award?
Yeah, this one was hard. I just went for the cop out.
I did too.
Did you go for the cop out?
Go for it. I don't know.
Okay. On the count of three, Luke. 1, 2, 3.
Lloyd Kaufman.
Oh.
I wrote motherfucking Lloyd Kaufman because
I didn't see him.
See, I saw that in the trivia section, but I didn't. I'll be honest, I don't.
Still to this day, if I was presented with Lloyd Kaufman in front of my face, I would smack the shit out of him.
I'd give Uncle Lloydie a hug, but also
I might give him a hug too, but he needs to know his place.
I went Carl Weathers, just because he's the whole reason we're doing the pod, and he's not even like, it's not a, oh my god, he's in this, because he's clearly in this. But
well, in fairness, my cop out is Lloyd wasn't in the movie; he was a pre-production person, but he's like in the credits. Like
he is in the movie.
Was he?
Yeah, he is.
Was he in the audience somewhere?
No. So Lloyd Kaufman is the bum that Rocky picks up like over his shoulder and then drags him into the diner.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
No way.
And I saw that in trivia, but like I didn't recognize him in the film. I was like, oh shit, that was Lloyd Kaufman?
He must have been like 18 years old. Like he must have been a young buck back then.
Yeah, but he picks him up. He's like, here's your new friend Lefty, and he throws him. Yeah.
He had to have been like super young because like Toxie wasn't even like till like very late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. That's funny. But rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Everything I've seen, the outpouring of love on Twitter and Instagram for all the stories from actors and everyone who's worked with him. Mm-hmm. And the long one from Stallone. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that was awesome.
It's good.
Video.
It was really good eulogy. Just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously an extremely loved person. Rest in peace, man.
Take an extremely kind, talented soul, put him in a pot. You got a soup going, baby.
Him showing up and Arrested was so...
he's one of the best characters in that fucking series.
I didn't have an actor for mine. I just had Joe Frazier.
I had Joe Frazier too, yeah. Just the one celebrity boxer they got to be
and
I
always forget. Literally every single time I watch Rocky, I'm like, oh shit, that's right. Joe Frazier's in this. Yeah. That's sick. I'm like, right on. You know?
Must be friends or something, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. Did you guys get a Hans Gruber?
No.
I had a cop out. I said Rocky's eye.
I still don't. I watched it again this time. I still don't understand what they cut because they didn't show any like really gore. I know he was swelling up. Was it just to release the blood, or was it to get the flap up?
No, to release the blood.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense. Good effect, like an old school like hidden squirter squib behind the hand and the knife. Yeah, love it. Why I like Waterworld. A controversial hot take.
So mine is that I don't like Waterworld. No, just kidding. No, I'm kidding. I actually didn't have one. So I tried to rack my brain and I couldn't think of anything, to be honest. So mine
again is a cop out. I think that Rocky is a secret Valentine's Day movie. And we're kind of releasing it at the right time. Yeah. Almost around Valentine's Day. And it's probably why I'm still single.
It's like, this is the blueprint, right?
This is how I do it.
My hottest take is probably this movie could have been an hour. Because like if you take all of because like this isn't a bad movie. Like if you take all of the really good shit and all of this like beautiful shots and all of the character building and all of that and compress it, that's an hour.
Yeah.
Then you've got like another hour of Stallone bouncing a ball around the streets of Philly, talking to Joe Schmoes, trying, like just like a lot of just haranguing and assaulting of Adrianne. So it's like...
I remembered a lot more of the racquetball bouncing. But there's not that much of it in there.
I was surprised. I was like, is he okay? Like, I know he's a bouncer or a boxer and gets hit in the head a lot, but like, is he okay? He's bouncing that ball more than like most 7-year-olds. Like...
Yeah, well, what's funny is, okay, so I guess I have a hot take that just popped into my in my head right now. I swear, I actually did think of last night for like a second, and I'm trying to find the right way to say this, but I almost kind of got like an autistic vibe from Rocky. Like it was very like, I work with autistic kids, and so like I was very like, holy shit, like, yeah, like just, it's just the kind of the rambling of like train of thought and like, but he's also still trying to like be like, oh, like, you got anything to say, Adrian? No? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep talking kind of thing. It's just like that need to like fill the empty.
That was my assumption about Adrianne.
Yeah, sure.
Because she exhibited, just the shyness, like obviously being overwhelmed by the world around her,
sure,
kind of deal. But I don't think they understood these things back then.
No. Yeah, that's why it's like maybe
the people they were drawing from maybe were autistic,
right? But it's not labeled.
We didn't label it or understand it.
Yeah,
possible. Very possible.
Yeah.
Is this the first season of Love on the Spectrum?
Oh man, I've been watching that show and same thing, dude. I'm like, dude, those are my kids. I fucking love them, but those are.
On to Blue Velvet meets Blue's Clues movie mashups. What would you mash this up with? I know Chuck would like to improve this movie somehow.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I went weird with it.
Smart man.
I went full shit post with this one. So yeah, I said Lord of the Rings meets Rocky.
Explain.
So Frodo and the gang band together to toss the ring in Mount Doom. Except Frodo fumbles it at the very end and Sauron takes over Middle-earth for good. But everyone's still really proud of the valiant effort they put forth as life ends as they know it. Because it's about the climb, It's about the journey. It's not about saving the, elfin and hobbit races. It's about, like the brotherhood and the friendship.
It's the friends you made along the way.
Exactly. And then, I guess we're all fucked.
He kept his word. He made it to Mount Doom,
Yeah.
He never said it was that. He said, I will make it to Mount Doom.
Exactly. He never said he was going to fight Sauron or take anybody on. And I was like, no, he's gonna make it up the hill and we're going to find out what happens.
I couldn't really think of anything. So I kind of just went ahead and modern day Netflixed it and just said like Rocky meets LGBTQ story.
Okay.
Just why not just have him, maybe
yeah.
That's it. That's literally the only thing that popped in my head. I'm like, I don't know.
Right on. I have for mashup, I have all the Rocky movies, but just the fight scenes.
Oh, you're going Dragon Ball Z Kai on this.
Probably.
We're cutting out all the stories where no. Chi-Chi's just running errands. It's like, no, it's just the fights.
Yeah, just the fights. Yeah, just one after the other. There's 6 of them now, so we can be like, it's a feature length movie with just the fights.
Yeah,
yeah, that's me. Dare I go into Here Comes Kanye? Chuck, you want to give your
I'll just in the vein of shit posting. If you are subscribed to Peacock, you can watch Married to Medicine season 10, specifically the episode Let's Take a Nappa. It features one of your favorite hosts of this podcast, very briefly in a cameo as a waiter. If you'd like to see some very stilted, non-acting acting in a reality television program. Married to Medicine, season 10.
A little known fact, Chuck is trying to change his name to Married to Medicine. Yeah. just so we can open conversations with that.
Exactly. It's going to be, I'm also transitioning, so it's going to be Marie. And my last name is to Medicine.
Right on. Let's go on to, do we call Rocky to break some thumbs?
Well, I mean, he's not going to do it.
Because he's not going to do it.
Look, if he breaks the guy's thumbs, they lay him off.
Yeah,
if they lay him off, we can't work it and we don't get the money.
The money.
So no, absolutely not. He's good for it.
Exactly. Yeah,
he's good for it.
I'm right there too. Yeah. I know that guy isn't.
This movie is iconic. This movie has so much merit. There are good things in it, but I had to stay true to myself. I really enjoyed the last third of it. I don't know if the training montages and the final fight, though, are worth making me watch this ever again.
Yeah.
Like you said, the highlight reels show up in 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
I think I have to kill it. I'm sorry.
Oh.
It just drags. And then it just drags. And then the whole Adrianne romance is just like, but what if we weren't? Okay, we're just going to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
Just like Rocky and Polly, I can look past that horrible thing you just said and still love you as a human being.
Thank you. Can I put my meat company on the back of your jacket?
No, but for sure. I hear you. That makes sense. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I totally get it. From someone watching it for the first time to,
sure.
during this day, be like,
again,
it'll be a hard sell.
Full disclosure, I watched this with future eyes. Had I watched this as a child and stuff and had the nostalgia glaze, I probably would have been like, well, this sucks, but it's fucking Rocky.
Yeah. Yep. My only defense of that is that this was the education for everything that came after it.
Oh, and I definitely see that.
Yeah, I know you appreciate that too. But that's why I'm also probably not going to really watch this again. But I'm not going to kill it. It's just living for me. I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it.
Sure. Yeah.
Especially now that I know Lloyd's actually in the movie.
Yeah. Look for him next time. Yeah. I don't know if you get a clear shot of his face, but
yeah, I don't think you must not. I mean, I don't even know what he would look like back then. Anyways, on to our Sonic Death Monkey top 5. Top 5 movies that inspired you to better yourself.
My number 5 was American Movie. Just keep doing your art and expressing yourself and working hard at things you truly care about because, that's all there really is in life.
My number 5, I had Pursuit of Happiness. it's a little ham, but
That's Will Smith, right?
that's the Will Smith one.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's a good San Francisco movie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just do whatever you got to do to come out on the other side. So.
Very much. Yeah. My number 5. It's really cheesy and it's really, but Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't identify with that character so much. I actually identify with the photographer, Sean Penn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I watched that movie to get re-inspired to take photos again, even though Sean Penn's an asshole, total prick and problematic. That's like what I'm feeling like shit. Like nothing I do matters. I watch that and be like, you don't always have to take the photo.
Yeah.
And then I go take a photo.
Yeah. Nice. My number 4 was a movie I desperately want to do on the podcast, Heavyweights. The message of the movie was, to like love yourself no matter what and like doesn't matter and all that fun stuff. But the message I took as a kid, because I was a very heavy child, was, dude, I need to lose some fucking weight. So yeah, it kind of instilled maybe losing some weight later on in life.
Do you reckon it's as problematic or more or less than The Ringer?
Oh, it's much less.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I haven't, because I haven't seen it. But
Heavyweights is like,
I also haven't seen The Ringer either, but I know what it's about. And I'm like, there's no fucking way.
The Ringer is fun because The Ringer is like
Ringer.
problematic, but it was also like, they already did this as an episode of South Park.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a weird choice.
Yeah. Did that come out? That came out after the episode?
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, it takes a while to make a movie. So maybe like they were just like super pissed because it was like, dude, we just spent a year and like $50 million putting Johnny Knoxville through this.
Yeah.
And they wrote this in 20 minutes. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. This might sound really weird, but when I was writing the list, it made sense in my head.
After all this, are you kidding me?
No, just wait. But then like, there's one concept about it that, okay, so I have Jojo Rabbit. It was more about the idea of like, because like Rocky, I try my best in life to like really understand where people are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Especially more so when it's like, okay, it's clearly you are a product of like being raised and like brainwashing or et cetera, right? So I think just, getting a story from, the titular character who's like growing up in this culture of like Nazi's the way to go, right? And then, for him to like later get to like, that's not right at all, I think, just reminds me again to just like really try to give some people a little bit of like doubt and like, okay, like maybe like you honestly like believe that because that's all you've been told in your life. And like, let me just take a step back and figure out, can I re-educate you or is this still a situation that I should walk away from?
I can get behind that 100%. And I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine sounds really cheesy and dumb after that. But I got Yes Man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Also really corny and cheesy at parts. It's like, it's borderline, Evan Almighty kind of like cheese. But I like the message.
Yeah.
I just like that, like, yeah, obviously don't say yes to everything, but like take more adventures.
Yeah. Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep. That's a good one. I like it. I watch it every now and again. And like his friend who goes crazy and throws the brick through the window. It's fucking hilarious, dude. So much fun.
Nice.
Yeah, my number 3 was Swingers. And again, like taking it with a grain of salt. It's the message I took away from that is like, yeah, don't just like mope about after a breakup. Like you have to, it's like, yes, like it hurts and stuff like that, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to do
right.
Life keeps happening, whether you want it to or not. So you just have to like put yourself out there and experience things and feel things, even if it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. My number 3 is Big Fish.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think that one especially kind of hits a little close to home in terms of like, to remind myself to give people kind of the time of the day and kind of to listen with an open ear and, maybe also try to figure out, not just like where they're coming from, but also like what they're actually trying to say or what the overall message of like what the information that they're presenting to me is.
Sure.
Especially, just like I said, it's, hits a little close to home in terms of just like, not necessarily understanding why parents do things a certain way, and then maybe, reaching a point in your life where like, oh, okay, I understand that, and I wish maybe I had understood it sooner. Don't know if that would have changed anything, but maybe, it's worth thinking about. So
everything you're describing is perfect. That movie perfectly encapsulates that feeling of slowly learning what the truth is, and good one, dude. Mine is That Thing You Do.
I know the name.
I don't know it. Seen it?
I definitely know the name.
I'm aware of it. I can hear the like announcer like doing the trailer, like That Thing You Do, like da da da, like, and I know it's a Tom Hanks film about like a one-hit wonder band, but I've actually never seen it.
Okay,
it's good. It's good. I recommend it. It reminds me that I do play music and I should get back and it's still fun to play. It's just a good movie. It's a movie I had attached to my high school friend group very closely. Like the people in the movie like matched me and my friends a lot. Just one of my favorite movies, but yeah, I watched that to get inspired to be creative.
Nice. Yeah, my number 2 is Clerks. And the reason for that is just like, the self-improvement lesson is just don't be a Dante. Like, don't get, fixated and stew in your past. Like, also just bitching about your problems doesn't fix them. Action does. So, whatever you do, don't be a Dante Hicks.
Nice.
Quit the fucking quick stop. Like, go back to school. Do something.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith, come on our podcast.
My number 2 is Forrest Gump. Full disclosure, like when I was like really, really, really young, I think probably like most people I grew up with was very like, whatever you want to call it, like homophobic, like slightly racist, like,
sure.
Maybe even people on the, what I would refer to now, people on the spectrum or any kind of intellectual disabilities, like, okay, weirdo, kind of stuff. And like, definitely like, obviously I'm glad that I outgrew that like fairly quickly.
Sure.
But just definitely, this is one of those movies again, just like where, you take time to understand people and to also just, let people live their lives. It also encourages, kind of like we were talking about earlier, like to take more adventures and risks and open yourself up to people. And yeah, it's just, there's a lot, I think, about it that, we should all in some ways aspire to be as close to Forrest Gump as we can,
exactly.
man.
Yeah,
it just,
Yeah, I could totally get behind
what
that.
a human being. Yeah.
Mine is maybe scary. I don't know, but Gross Point Blank.
No.
I don't know that one.
You haven't seen it. It's just another a person like stuck in life and like goes back to his high school reunion and like gets some perspective, and you should watch it.
Okay.
It's absolutely, it's one of my top 10 movies.
Who's in it? Who's the
John Cusack, Jane Cusack,
Oh wait.
Minnie Driver.
Oh wait, no, I saw that. You recommended it to me.
Yeah,
I did see it. No,
he's the assassin.
Yes. Oh, the assassin. You're right. 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I watched that like once a month.
Thank you for putting. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
But after I watch it, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not an assassin. Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I'm glad I don't have like high school hangups.
Yeah.
Life's pretty fucking good.
Exactly.
I don't have Dan Aykroyd chasing me down on the number ones.
Yeah, my number 1 also ties into hangups. My number 1 is 500 Days of Summer. Because it just like helps like kind of teach you that you got to stop putting every romantic partner or crush on this like weird fantasized pedestal. Basically, like people are people.
Yeah.
But just because she likes the same music or like she puts ranch on her pizza, guess what? So do thousands of other people. Like she is not the one.
I could only watch that one once. It hit so hard.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it again. I love it, but
it's a great movie.
Can't watch it again. Yeah.
And it's a great movie because of that. It's like, it kind of pulls the, the tropes and the rug out from under you of like, oh, it's like, well, they're going to end up back to, spoiler alert, they're going to end up back together because like, that's just, love conquers all. And it's like, no, that wasn't love. That was something else. And I love that movie for that.
My number 1 is Rocky.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Stay true to yourself. No, don't let nobody tell you who you are. You know who you are.
Don't be a creeper.
Plenty of creepers in the neighborhood. Don't be a creeper.
Yeah.
It's Creepo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Creepo,
that was their like big
Creepo.
insult.
Yeah. No, but just, again, I grew up with the movie.
Sure,
so,
man.
Again, just that idea too, of like, you're going to get opportunities in life and, you got to push yourself and, but also, stay true to yourself and, care about the people around you and, all the other themes that I touched on with my other picks.
And I got to say, like, I don't always think about the themes or the people in the movie, but anytime I start to hear the music, I get fucking pumped, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I need motivation,
yeah,
it's the Rocky theme.
Yeah.
And then later on, it's the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
This is the just fucking banging hits,
Totally.
man.
Yeah. Both on my workout playlist for sure. Yeah.
My number 1 is Micmacs, which is another film I've mentioned before. I don't think you guys have seen yet.
Yeah,
You've mentioned it several times, and I am a shitty friend.
No. It's hard to find. It's French, but it's heartwarming, and it's about a guy who's like he accidentally gets a bullet like stuck in his head. So he becomes disabled a little bit, but he becomes friends with this like circus troupe who live in the garbage next to the river. But they're inventive and they're making machines and stuff, and they're actually having a really happy life. And they take revenge on the people who make the bullets, which is really fun. You should watch it.
Micmacs?
Micmacs, M-I-C-M-A-C.
Okay.
Yeah, same people who made Amelie.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jean-Pierre Jeunet and I believe Jean Caro filmed it. So yeah, that's my number one. Like if I need inspiration or perspective.
Well, that was very uplifting, and I hope you've been lifted as well. Thank you for listening.
Follow us on Patreon. Give us money, please. That's really the wrong way to ask.
But also, give us money.
Give us money or we'll send Rocky after you to break your thumbs.
I've been Chuck Starzenski.
I have been Javier Martinez.
And I've been Luke Londe.
And we have been the Nostalgia Killers.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.